With the way the market is right now, it might not look like it, but XRP is still one of the most bullish old crypto coins in this area. I don't think I need to tell you guys that 2025 was a crazy year for crypto. When you look at how 2025 has been going, you can see that it has been a disappointed year for prices, and yet the news, big releases, and changes in the crypto world have all been very positive. It's also been very exciting to see these changes. XRP is now in a very interesting spot because it is still one of the most strong crypto coins out there. There has also been a lot of good news about XRP. I've said it many times, and I'll say it again. All of this news, even if prices don't change, is making people more interested in these projects. I can already hear you guys saying, oh, nice excuse. The computer warriors are already saying it in the comments. We're all under a lot of pressure. But if we go back to November 2024, when HAR, XRP, XDC, XLM, and other old coins started to rise in value, everyone asked me, Nick, why is XRP rising right now? Why does HR need to pump right now? I kept telling them to look at what happened with some of these projects in the last 3 months. As time goes on, more and more good news comes out. Eventually, the pressure is lifted and the board starts to see a big jump. Let's get back to XRP. All the reports have shown that the price has been very high in 2025, but price movement hasn't been very interesting. If we go back to this post from November 30th with Cointelegraph, we can see that XRP ETF plans are growing while other crypto issuers stay out of the market until regulations are clear and institutions want them. There are now more ETF proposals and a lot more desire for XRP spot-based ETFs. This is because of the rules. It is important to remember that the SEC case gives XRP a lot more freedom than most of these other projects. When we think about how great the ETFs have been, we still see over $60 million worth of trades every single day for all of them, even on days when they have huge losses. This video was recorded a little while ago. This is crazy because, as we already said, these ETFs should have lost all their value because of how the market is dealing. But these ETFs are still doing very well, which is very exciting to see. We could see how good these ETFs are overall, and the daily volume is still starting to pick up a lot. Plus, we still have more ETFs in place that haven't been announced yet. I'm now aware that CoinShares took back their ETF filing. They said, all right, well, we don't want to launch an XRP ETF because we don't want to compete with the big players like BlackRock, CK, and like those types of names. That is very interesting to me, though, because we already know that BlackRock, Fidelity, and these other big names don't have any XRP ETFs. Grayscale is the only one. That's why I find it interesting. I don't know if they're giving us a hint that maybe one day they will release an XRP ETF. I think that all the big players like BlackRock will also file for an XRP ETF. I think it's going to happen, but we already know that they took down their XRP ETF, and 21 Shares hasn't even started yet. One more big one is Wisdom Tree. So, we still have ETFs planned, but it's crazy to see how well these ones have done so far. Also, it's happening at a time when crypto prices are going down a lot. Think about how well these ETFs will do when the market starts to rise again and people are feeling happy again. Also, just to give you guys a quick number, these XRP ETFs have gained over $800 million in assets since the middle of November. It's crazy. Also shown is that in 60 days, the amount of tokens on exchanges dropped by 45% to 2.6 billion. This is because buyers moved 1.35 billion tokens from exchanges to private wallets or custody. And yes, it's crazy to see, but these ETFs have been on fire and they're starting to rise against some big players. Let's be honest. I'm not going to say Bitcoin and Ethereum. These ETFs are beginning to move in the direction of Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm keeping a close eye on that because things could get very interesting very quickly if we hear the changing story and these talks again. Also, ROUSD. I've been talking about ROUSD a lot on the channel lately. This time I'm going to talk about ROUSD again for a few different reasons. First, there's the market cap. In the past 30 days, it's gone up almost 30%. In the past 30 days, buyers have gained more than 420%. Also, the number of monthly active addresses has gone up by more than 31% in the past 30 days. There's an interesting thing going on here. On the XRP side of things, the buyers tab could go crazy. Now, we don't know if this was just a mistake or a glitch, but it's crazy to see. We've also been seeing more ROUSD being sent out on the XRP system. To give you an idea, the Ethereum supply chain has been about 25% in the last 30 days. On the XRP record was more than 48%. It's great to see this. We're still a long way behind Ethereum, but I think we'll get there in the end. but I'm bringing this up because we know that Reese Merrick, who works for Ripple, just published a post on X about how they bought Hidden Road and how the deal is now complete. They finished it last month. As of now, Ripple Prime clears $3 trillion in all markets every year for 300 institutional users. On top of that, Ripple is now the first cryptocurrency-based business to own a global prime broker that deals in FX, digital assets, swaps, fixed income, and more. Since the news, we've already seen a lot of growth. Also, guys, lock in on XRP. This is very important. For institutional accounts, XRP and ROUSD will be used as collateral. The age of institutions just got better. His post came out at the same time that Ripple made another big move. I said this was another smart move made when the market was down. With their tech stack, Ripple keeps making it easier for them to become the world's biggest digital company. This is from Ripple. We have big news from Singapore. The Monetary Authority of Singapore has given us permission to do more payment activities under our major payment institution license. This means that we can now offer our customers in the region fully licensed payment services from start to finish. Here is the full news. For its major payment institution license in Singapore, Ripple expands the types of payments that can be made. We have the whole list. With this permission, Ripple can offer more regulated payments to customers in Singapore and give them more value. As one of the few blockchain-enabled organizations in the world with an MPI license, Ripple is reaffirming its dedication to regulation, openness, and strong partnerships with regulators. The Monetary Authority of Singapore has set a high standard for how clear regulations should be for digital assets, and we really appreciate Singapore's forward-thinking approach. Ripple has always put rules and regulations first, and Singapore shows that new ideas can grow when rules are clear. We can keep investing in Singapore and build the infrastructure that financial institutions need to move money quickly, safely, and efficiently thanks to this extended license. Ripple Payments uses digital payment coins and a global payout network to make cross-border payments and on and off ramps quick, clear, and reliable for banks, crypto companies, and fintechs all over the world. Ripple handles the underlying blockchain and operational complexity with a fully licensed end-to-end solution. This way, businesses can quickly start offering digital payment services without having to pay for or run their own infrastructure. They are in charge of the blockchain, which is where XRP and XRPL are connected. One of the best things about Ripple's end-to-end payment solution is that it uses digital payment tokens like ROUSD and XRP to settle payments quickly and easily without having to pay for or maintain expensive infrastructure.